What's up, y'all? It's your girl Stephanie. Today I have a Get Ready With Me featuring my most loved, most used products of 2019, and honestly before. There's a lot of items here that I've been using for many years. So before we get into it, if you haven't yet, please make sure to subscribe below. Come join the sisterhood. No matter your true pronoun or gender identity, come join the family. All right, let's get started. Okay, so scooching my hair back a little bit. Let's just start off with primer. So here I have the Yves Saint Laurent Touche Eclat Blur Primer. This is actually my second bottle. I just purchased a new one. Just get one pump in the hand. It is like a really kind of slippery feel, like silicone feel. There's like these little like pieces of gold in there, which I don't really see the purpose of that, but it doesn't really show up on the skin. And it just makes a really nice surface for all the other makeup to go onto. And it just feels very luxurious. I really love how it feels. It helps my makeup stay put as much as it can all day as well. Let's just jump right into the foundation. Here we have the Pat McGrath Lab Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. I have it in light medium 9. And I'm just going to pump one pump in the back of my hand. So this foundation is quite light. It is buildable, but I personally like my foundation to be very, very sheer. I just find it as like a base for my other products. Like I kind of like to do a lot more building up rather than piling on. Does that make sense? Build it up instead of creating really, really thick layers. So I like to thin it out even more with a beauty blender. I've also, if I do want a thicker layer, I will go ahead and either just use my fingers, which is a really, really great way to apply the product. And if you do that with the fingers, you really warm up the product and kind of like emulsify it a little bit. Or I'll use the brush, like a nice thick kabuki brush as well. But today, since I'm actually gonna be using like a pretty high coverage concealer, I'm just going to kind of even out the skin tone with this foundation. So moving on to concealer, I have two concealers here. These are the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer by Too Faced. I have Nude and Light Beige, and I'll show you how I use both of them. I'll use Nude under the eyes. It's a little bit more of like a pinkier tone and a little bit lighter, and then Light Beige, which is kind of more of a neutral tone. So here we have Nude, and I just bought a couple new bottles of this actually because my other ones, I was like kind of scraping at it and it was getting a little grubby. They did update the doe foot applicator. It's a little bit pointed now. I don't know when they did that because I also realized that I had these for a while. Probably was past its expiration date, but okay. Not just my eyes actually. I'm gonna put it down the bridge of my nose and I'll like just do one of these. Then with the other color, just do this and then cover the redness around my nose and chin area, and then any extra kind of blemishes we got here. I'll also just kind of help it blend down. So that's pretty much the formula of how I put these two colors on my face. And then taking my beauty blender, I am starting underneath the eyes and just bouncing away. This concealer blends so easily, and like when I take it out of the container, I make sure to scrape some of it off on the side because it is opaque. Doesn't stick to any weird dry patches, and can sit on top of other products really well. I've used this with all sorts of different primers and other foundations, even combined it with different, concealers, and they all blend well together. I would say this is my favorite product to use when I'm going to an event, when I need fuller coverage, because it gives me that coverage, it stays put, and it doesn't move around throughout the night when my oils really start to seep through. I'm trying to work fast here because I didn't realize what time it is, and I'm losing light, man. I'm losing light real fast. Okay, so right now, pretty fully covered, use such like little product, which is really what I prefer, so I don't feel like I have a ton of stuff on my face, but it's very full coverage in terms of the concealer. Now I'm gonna go ahead and bake, and while I'm baking, I'm gonna put on my brows, and then I'll be right back. All right, here we are. Brows are on. I baked, wiped it off, and I put a little powder on. I'll make sure to also include everything else that I put on my face today in the description box down below. So I'll be in order for you, but I just really wanted to concentrate on, you know, certain products that I really love this year in particular. And the brow products that I use, I've been using them for years. So I'll make sure to try and actually get a card of like, I'm sure there's a brow tutorial that I've done that I've used these exact products. So the next product I want to talk about is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit in Ghost. This was a very well-loved palette by me in the latter part of this year, not the entire year, because it actually came out, I think, like halfway through the year. But I really love this bronzing color for the face as well as the eyes. Very multifunctional product. Just grabbing a angle brush here, putting it on my cheeks, carve it out a little bit, you know what I'm saying? It just blends so beautifully. All Hourglass like face products are lovely in terms of blending. And I just really like this color. This color just looks really nice on me. And now we're going to use this color over here, which is a little, it's kind of like a cool pink. There's like a coral purplish, there's like a combo of little colors in there. And I'm just gonna pop that on my cheeks. Real simple little look. Yeah, I definitely used this palette a lot. There are a few different palettes that I used a lot. But this one I was using every day for a few months there. I actually recently spoke about, I think it was in my December favorites, the Charlotte Tilbury palette that I have been loving. Oh man, that is such a multifunctional palette. It's crazy. Probably the most multifunctional palette I've ever seen in my life. Bronzer, blush, all done. So we're gonna move on to the eyes before I talk about my highlight. And this highlight actually is really one that I've used like every single day. Let's move on to the eyes. I already primed it, and I am gonna go ahead and use this, which is the Supergoop Shimmer Shade SPF 30. This is in Sunset. They have a few different colors. I like the one that is also kind of just like a neutrally kind of, I guess you wouldn't call it like a tan, but it's just like a nice shimmery neutral color. But this one I like to layer underneath brown eyeshadows. Ooh, I did grab a lot just now. You don't need too much of this stuff if you're not trying to do a super dark look, obviously. But it has SPF 30 in there to protect the eyes. I feel like Supergoop is really changing the game in terms of eye sun protection. Okay, now that we've popped that on my eyes, I'm typically not like extremely precise with this because I put another color on. We are gonna go ahead and grab the palette that I have been loving, which is this one right here. This is the Rachel Zoe Lorac Hollywood Glamour mini palette. This is honestly the best palette in terms of different colors personally for me. And honestly, the best bang for your buck. This palette is very reasonably priced. The colors themselves, they're all super blendable, such opaque, beautiful eyeshadows. And such a great size. I don't need my eyeshadows to, you know, be giant pans of color. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab a fluffy brush here. Here we go. I've been really loving Morphe brushes too, by the way. I like, this is a, doesn't say. Well, it's a very kind of smaller, shorter, fluffy brush. I'm gonna grab this warm matte brown in here. And I'm gonna go up in here into the corner. You do not need a lot of this shadow. It is very, very opaque. And it blends really, really beautifully. And I just like to bring that up this is like what my look every day. Okay, before I blend out more, I'm just gonna pack some onto the eyelid. And I also feel like the Super Goop just makes other shadows just go on really nicely. But this one in itself does not need like another cream shadow base at all. It'll just go onto your eyes so smooth. Gonna bring it down underneath. It's like weird to describe, but it's like a creamy feeling matte. It doesn't drag at all. You know what I'm saying, right? Like when you have a matte eyeshadow and it drags and it catches and it's just difficult to use. This is, somehow Lorac has like really perfected the matte eyeshadow formula because this one is such a dream to use. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to the other eye. Do the same exact thing, I'll be right back. All applied to the other eye. I think I'm gonna grab this upper color. That's like my second favorite color on here. Just grab it with the same brush. And I'm just gonna bop it onto the upper eyelid a bit. Just to give it a little more of a sheen, because this one has like a little bit of like a sparkle sheen to it. But it is darker and again, very opaque, so be a little careful there. There we go, I'm satisfied with the shadows right now. Maybe not the perfect blend, but that's okay. Before we move on to some fun shimmery stuff, I am gonna put on my highlight because my brows, my eyeshadow is now prepped for that area. So let's put on the cheeks first. This is the Too Faced Diamond Light Highlighter in Canary Diamond. It's so interesting because I was just looking at it on the Sephora website, and the photo that they have of this color on there is just like so wrong. It just doesn't look like what it looks like in person. But I understand because at different angles, it looks like, to me, when I'm looking at it, it looks very goldish. But then also at different angles, like I feel like it looks pink on camera. So it's hard to capture what this actually looks like. But for me, it is just a very beautiful pinky gold shimmery highlight. Love it so much. And now I'm just gonna put this onto my brow bone. I really hope that this brush is still out there. This is like the Real Techniques 102 brush. It's just like this very pointy guy because it's perfect. Ooh, for going right under the brow. And I also love like the actual shimmer glitter in here. I want my highlight to be a little chunky. But I don't use too much of it, you know, a little chunk. Little chunk is good. Highlighter is on. And now we are gonna get into some accents. Now, the shimmer stuff, I guess, that I've been using the most is the Hourglass Scattered Light Glitter Eyeshadow, and this one is in Ray. If you really get in there with your finger, you can like sweep across your eyelids and get a real like chunky glitter, like super powerful look. I love that. But if you want a more subtle kind of situation, I just grab some with a little pointer brush and bop it right onto the inner corners. I love this color Ray. It is like not what I would expect to like actually, because it is kind of like a cooler color because it has silver shimmers in there. Here we are so far and not that much left. We got some real nice inner corner. This is what I do like a brown eyeshadow, sometimes once in a while I do liner, kind of been, you know, creating my own brown liner, and then a nice shimmer on the inside of the eye. That's my look. I do have an honorable mention for shimmery fun stuff, and that is this right here. This is the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Eyeliner in Midnight Cowboy. If you just want some just straight up glitter, this is the way to go. And I love this color, Urban Cowboy. I'll pile some on here, why not? Let me just do a little bit. It's not like the most matching, but yeah, it works. Sometimes I'll do this, yeah, if you just want to add like a little something extra, like if you need to add like some chunky glitters, a little bit of chunky glitters to another glitter, this one is fantastic for that. And they have so many different colors. I also do still really love the Stila ones as well, but at least with this one, I'm not sure if all Stila ones do, but they have like, in terms of the actual gel of it, there's color added, and this one, it's clear and just the glitter. I actually really, really like that. I'm glad that I did that. We are almost done with the eyes, so all we have left are mascara. And the two products, I mean, you might really be able to assume one of them, but what I love to use on my eyes to prime is the Marc Jacobs Velvet Primer. This primer truly trumps all other primers for me. It coats the lashes so easily and then makes the mascara stick to it, lengthen the lashes, thicken them up without being clumpy. It's the lash primer to rule them all. I always thought that I would love the Lancome Seals Booster the most, but to be honest, I bought another tube. I used it after the Marc Jacobs one previously that I had run out of, and I was not super stoked on it compared to this one. This one, just a few little blinks, little brushes, and super coated. And also with this one, what I tend to do is I will let it dry down a little bit more than I would let the Lancome, because Lancome I feel like I would have to immediately apply mascara like while it was wet for it to be effective for me. This one, just a few seconds. I don't let it dry down like all the way. Primer is on, and no surprise here, the mascara that I absolutely love is the Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara. This is just the regular formula. How many years going have I loved this? It's actually funny too, because this one and the Marc Jacobs have like the exact same kind of applicator too. I like the one that has a little dip in the middle. I've never understood applicators that are like bigger in the middle when you're trying to like get it onto the lashes. Just never really made sense to me. But this one, so thickening, lengthening, does not crumble after a while. Using other mascaras to me that like kind of crumble and break apart as time goes on, or if you know you get a little water or your eyes tear up, it's amazing to me because this one never does that. I never see little particles of this one on my face ever. That's what I'm talking about. Do you see those lashes? Do you see the length and the thickening? This mascara, this combo rules, really rules. All right, y'all, well, all that is left is the lips. And I have two products here. So I'm gonna show you my like everyday kind of gloss that I use every day. First, this is the Dior Lip Maximizer in 12 Rosewood. I used to use this other Dior Lip Maximizer, and I think they discontinued that one. Yeah. But this one turns out to be an even better match, because that one sometimes could be a little bit too pink. This one is a great match for like an everyday color for me. It is a nice like minty tingle on your lips, very moisturizing, leaves your lips after it wears down a little bit, if you eat a little bit, you know, leaves your lips very moisturized. A lot of times I don't like opaque color lip glosses. That's what I don't like for certain brands. Some of them are great, I like them, but this one is just real sheer. Just is a my lips but better kind of look. In terms of a red lip, you have seen this one before. I believe this was in my 2018 favorites too, potentially in my 2017. I can't find one that I love more than this. This is the NARS Power Matte Lip Pigment in Don't Stop. This is my second little tube of this lip product, and that in itself shows you the longevity and how little of this product that you use, because you will put this on at the beginning of the day and you will not have to reapply it. Like, you can eat, if you eat carefully, You can eat a couple meals, drink a bunch of coffee, everything. You can do everything with this product on your lips and it will look like it was freshly applied. So this applicator, very stiff, very pointy, but great for really getting in and being very, very precise with your lines. But do not attempt to do this like in a moving vehicle, which I have done it before actually. It was pretty amazing. And I did a good job. Or you gotta concentrate while you're applying this. So I'm not gonna speak at all while I'm putting this on. Wow, this is definitely a look. I typically wouldn't do, I know it's not a dark eye makeup look for a lot of people, but I typically wouldn't do like a as dark makeup look with this lip, but it looks good. I'm going out to dinner in a little bit, so I'm definitely wearing this out. This is a matte lip, but it is so comfortable. I don't know how they do it. Like, my lips look so matte right now, but it doesn't feel like it's starving for any kind of moisture. I've worn this, all day long, multiple times. Clearly, I love this lip. If you haven't tried it, if you're a red lip person and you have not tried this lip, just do yourself a favor and go out and buy it. All right, I think that is a completed look. I'm just gonna put a little dry shampoo in my hair and I think I'm ready to go. Yeah, this is my best of 2019 makeup. Thank you for watching this all the way through. I guess I really just didn't realize what time it was when I started filming because it is now nighttime. So you just saw a day to night transformation. If you watch my videos in 2019 and before, thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all. Y'all are, the light of my life. And I really make these videos for you. Clearly, I love talking about makeup and I love, sharing with y'all, but it really is your feedback and your positive energy which keeps me going. Thank you again for watching this video. Have a lot of really fun stuff, really good videos coming up for you very soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And with that said, I love y'all and I will see you in the next video. Bye.